that online. That's why I started doing that this year. Um, just wait a little bit more, and we are almost there. Yeah, we are online now. Hello, guys who follow us on YouTube. We are here with my friends, and we are here for a new English immersion. So, just to explain you a little bit about the platform, Talk and Talk is a platform of languages where we can practice different languages such as English, Spanish, Portuguese, French, and others. We don't have a teacher here, so I am not playing the role as a teacher here. I work in a different field. We don't correct each other, we just try to create a real conversation and we try to create a safe environment where we don't feel afraid about making mistakes. Today we're going to talk about something interesting that is microlearning. In my personal opinion, we've been using microlearning for since so long ago, but maybe we just people just created this kind of name for this way of learning. And that's it. So we just watched a video related to this topic, and we're gonna start with our first question. I'm gonna start with you, okay, Catherine? So, Catherine, what is microlearning, and how does it differ from traditional learning methods, in your opinion?
Okay, microlearning, I think could be defined like in the video, that you can teach someone in a few minutes. So yeah, works for something is not so complicated, I think, because imagine teaching, I don't know, genetic by microlearning. I think maybe for some subjects is not a good strategy, but in the general is a good point to develop, you know. So yeah, even though if you want to introduce a subject, for example, I think microlearning is good. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Catherine. I totally agree with you. I think that it doesn't match for all of the subjects or maybe different, yeah, subjects or careers. I think that it's most for the theoretical part because if you want to learn something that is hands-on with micro-learning on the internet, it's kind of impossible. But maybe you can learn the theoretical part in this way. And that's my point of view. Thank you so much. Luisi, please go ahead.
That's perfect. That's great that you are learning French because Luigi is French. Um, I like that. I've never heard about this method, but it's something that I believe that it's common that we do all the time. Maybe a form to deliver information through bite-sized form units. So something that I used to do is creative learning, but it's a concept only in my head. I'm currently learning something, then I try to be creative about it, like to search or to research something that is related to the subject, but in my own point of view, like programming languages, for example, that is very difficult for me. It's almost impossible, my biggest nightmare and challenge in my daily work. So I try to look for, I don't know, how to use programming languages, don't know, Python, for example, to solve different problems that is not related to my just to work. So this is something that I do. Maybe microlearning is something like this, focusing on subjects that you have interesting, but it's in a short period of time. That's that I understood about the video. And I believe it's flexible, right? For us that we don't have all the time, that we don't have like 4 hours to sit in a desk and to read and to watch long lectures. And for ADHD brains, maybe like people who struggle with focus and attention.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, Luisi. And yeah, in my words, I would say that it's microlearning is kind of dividing a full lesson in different pieces and try to do them in short periods of time, like 10, 15 minutes max. So I think that we've doing that since some time ago. I think since the reels or the way that reels are were created on social media, for example, it's like a way of learning with this method. Because on reels on I don't know on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, we can find a lot of teachers uh, who are trying to teach something in just 1 minute. So I think that they are using that method as well, or people who consume that kind of content. Guillermo, what do you think about it?
I agree with all that you say, and that it's to break some complex subject in small pieces, but the small pieces needs to be concise, need to start and finish some subject because it's more to specific points, right? Uh, and you talk about the hands-on things. I think it can be called micro-learning to fix my air conditioning, my wash machine. I used to work with uh, this field of fixing things, uh, bank machines and cell phones, smartphones, and helps me a lot. Even my mom, that is from a different area, she can fix in her washing machine using YouTube videos. People who catch, you have this problem, you here is the solution. Probably this is the cause of your problem, and this is the way to fix. And talking about tech, like Luigi said about Python, sometimes you wanna see some specific function how it should work, and you don't need to catch the documentation to read about much things. You just need to work this. Now I need to work. How working inside the machine, maybe I learning another day. So and I think that I think it is about this. And I recently I listened uh, a book from Mario Sergio Cortella, and it's the Lucky Follows Courage, and he talks about this kind of listening, and not about micro learning, but micro learning in the video they said about the break times that we need to get a long term memory. And in the book he says about why we go to school and we have some periods to do nothing, to just to eat, to do nothing, to rest, because it's very important for our brain. And I was seeing some interview videos, and pops up a video about learning faster and
Hmm.
learning. And the guy said that for learning faster, actually you need to learning more slowly. You don't overweight your brain with too much things,
Hmm.
because it's more harder to understand. It's
Hmm.
the thing about day by day, a little day by day is it's better 30 minutes day by day than 10 hours on a Saturday, because I don't have time in the week, and I will catch 10 hours. So I totally agree with you,
Hmm.
and I think that's a good uh, I think it's different from the traditional, but not so different, because
Hmm.
thinking about the tradition is to put on a basis, right? Put on everything has a little the same basis. So after
Hmm.
that, the other things that you wanna know, you can use the micro learning, because you already have the previous knowledge for that.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you so much, Guillermo. And regarding what you mentioned it about for example, the experience that you had fixing things just watching YouTube videos, it's something interesting because I think that micro learning in general is something possible nowadays because almost everyone has access to internet. With that, you can find I think that almost all of the information that you want to find. For example, if you want to learn something new for free, there are a lot of videos on YouTube or on different kind of resources over there for using. So I think that it's possible because nowadays we have this resource that is in internet. So let's move on to the question number two. I'm gonna start with you, Luise. Okay. So what are the key benefits of micro learning for language learners? It's a good one. What do you think about it?
Let me see the question. I guess it's easier to pay attention and to come back to the course if you need to. I just realized that I'm currently taking a course that uses this method because I use like LinkedIn Learning a lot every single day because it's free for me. So I use it a lot, and I'm taking a course about SQL, and it's split on little videos like 7 minutes to 10 minutes with the specifics commands, like one for where, one for from, one for, and it's easier because I can come back if I need to. If I forgot but how to use this command, I can come back, then watch it again and pause and try that. I think it's easier this way, and it's the possibility for you to drop out. It's like minimal because you won't be overwhelmed by the long hours of lectures, videos, and stuff.
Thanks so much as well for sharing your experience. I found so interesting that you mentioned it about LinkedIn. So I'm gonna try to try that again. So thanks so much. Now, Catherine, what do you think about it? What do you think about the benefits or the key benefits that we can find in micro learning?
Yeah, it's like you said, I think you can keep your focus because the time is so short that it's difficult to distract. And this is good to understand the subject. So yeah, I think just that.
Yeah, I was researching here how long a human brain can be there, like pay attention. So I think that it's 20 minutes as a max. After that, I think that our brain is in another way. So that's why I think that micro learning is a good way for learning. I'm not sure it can maybe replace the conventional way that we learn, but at least for me, it is working well. And that's it. What do you think about it, Guillermo?
I agree what you said, but I understand that is a good, but this, at least for me, I think that can turn on us on lazy person, because I talking about myself. Uh, when you start using everything you see, it's the short videos. When you have to catch a video a little bit longer, you became boring just seeing the time. You see 30 minutes and say, oh, so boring. I will put in the faster velocity to see faster. And I see this already in the posts. I use it to see just the memes and the few words, maybe four phrases. And when you have an interesting post, but it's bigger, you will have the button see more. Sometimes I will save it to read before to read in other time, because now I don't wanna, and I trying to do the reverse way to see the things in the normal velocity, and try to read more, because I think it's important, the micro learning. But it's not, I think it's not the key, like I said, to replace the traditional learning, because I remember some in this about the beginning of my study, in my childhood. I had a professor about history. They talk about our ancestors, the men in the caves. And even if he did it, I think it's an 1 hour the class. and the way that he teaching, I have observed all the subject, everything that he says, and it's related. And because I can I put all the things in the long term memory. He the dynamic of the professor, right? The lesson, because every class we had to write about what we understand about this, so it's a way to see again and to it's like I forgot how to say, you need to read the things to put in the memory. It's not just in the first time you're learning about that you will write in your memory to remember after. So I think these are related. It's 1 hour class, is not too much. So I like microlearning. I use it a lot, but I'm trying to not
Hmm.
uh, get used to just this way of learning, because
Hmm.
some kind of subjects we will need to read a book, technical, complex, boring. The book the you can catch someone teaching you in the YouTube,
Hmm.
and it's boring too. It's a complex thing that need more than 20 minutes. So I think that is a way to the microlearning is a key for like I said, I need you to fix something in the work, and I need you to do it now. So
Hmm.
I don't have this knowledge. I will see, okay, I can do it. No, we need to research more to fix this. So I think that is not the micro learning is not for replace the traditional way, but
Hmm.
to help us
Yeah.
learning better. And in language, I think it's the same. We start seeing some things, small pieces, because we need to understand the words, the alphabets before the phrases, before read
Hmm.
something bigger.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Guillermo. I completely agree that maybe we cannot replace at all the microlearning for instead of the maybe the last way that we used to learn. But I think it's like every single new method because any method is perfect for everyone. Maybe it's gonna work well for you, or maybe another person is going to find this method perfect for him or for her. So I think that we need to try to find what works for us. Maybe try to create a combination of the methods that will work well for us. At least for me, microlearning in my language learning journey, it's working really well. At least in French, I can see my progress. So yeah, I absolutely agree that maybe for some people it's not gonna be maybe the solution, or it's not gonna be something that's gonna solve their lives. But for some, yeah, it's gonna work well. So it's like everything in life. So thank you so much, guys, for your opinion, for your insights. So let's move on to the question number three. I'm gonna start with you, Luis. Okay. So how long should a typical microlearning session be to maximize retention? What do you think about it?
Let me see. Maybe something between 5 to 15 minutes. I don't know. I don't have. I have no idea actually, but according to the video, it's ideal to have like 2 to 10 minutes so you don't lose the focus or something like this. But for me, I see when I see myself like watching a video or a class, I prefer when it's something between 15 minutes. I think it's okay. So if it's like too shorter, you can communicate the subject, right? It's not enough to a structural concept or something like this. But it's very abstract to me.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky to define like a specific period of time that is will be maybe perfect for learning.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I would say that maybe 20 minutes is good. It's not that long. It's not that short. So Maybe 20 minutes is good for that. As already researched here or on internet, how long our brain can stay active or pay attention. So I think that 20 minutes is perfect, in my personal opinion. Catherine, what do you think about it?
So, question number three, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think 10 minutes, 9, 10 minutes. Actually, for me, works very well when it is this time because I can see the subject in a short period of time and I can repeat the video. So it's a good strategy too because sometimes I watch the video more than twice. So every time that I watch the video again, I think I understand better the content and uh, the subject could stick in my mind. So yeah, I think 10 minutes is a good period.
Thank you so much, Catherine, for finishing that question. Guilherme, what do you think about it?
I think about 10 to 20 minutes is enough. Like Luis said about if it's too shorter, you can uh, structure well and pass something more clearly. And I think that's a good time to introduce, organize, and pass the message. Because like the video show us, it's for a specific subject. So I think it's more time than this, you will go away, and the attention will go away too.
Thanks so much, Guilherme. Thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate your contribution. So let's move on to the next question. And I'm going to start with you, Catherine, okay? So the question number four goes like this. What are some common formats used in microlearning? Videos, quizzes, flashcards?
Okay, in my case, I really like to study by flashcards. I usually use Ink. I don't know if you know this app, but a very good app. But I don't consider like a micro learning because for a day I spend like more than 1 hour just to review my flashcards. So yeah, it's not a micro learning, but yeah, there is information that there that you can pass very fast. So yeah. And videos is a good option too. Like I said before, normally I watch the video more than one time, before to start to study a subject, I watch a video just to introduce the content. Then study by books and other stuffs. And when I have to do the revision, I go back to the video and watch again. So it's a good strategy too, at least for me.
Yeah. Well, I think people say that flashcards or yeah, flashcard works really well for learning languages, but I never tried that yet. In my personal case, I use so much videos since I started learning French. I started following a lot of content creators who or French teachers on internet, where I can learn different, for example, parts of grammar in 1 minute or in one just minute, and that works well for me. For example, I just watch a video where a guy was explaining one expression in French and I repeat that video twice or three times, and maybe in the next day I will be able to remember that expression. So for me, it's working well, and that's the way that I'm using that for my language learning. Luis,
Yeah,
what do you think about? Go ahead, go
no,
ahead.
no, it just I don't use this method to learn English because I'm a little lazy. So you have to put the audio on the app, and this is a little complicated to me.
Mhm.
So I don't use this to learning language, but I think it's a good strategy too. learning from flashcards or videos. Normally, I like to use podcast. For me, it's working very well because
Mm,
while I doing another thing, I just put the audio and pay attention. I think it for me works better than listening to music.
mhm.
So yeah, that's it, guys.
Regarding that, yeah, I totally agree that listening to podcasts works better than listening to music, at least for me, because I consider that on music, you normally the artists they use so difficult words or maybe some difficult collocations. Even although there are sometimes that they use some grammatical, they commit grammatical errors directly because they want to match the lyrics on the rhythm or and that's why sometimes I found some grammatical errors on music lyrics. Yeah, and I totally agree with that, Catherine. So thank you so much. Now, Luis, what do you think about it?
I don't have like a long repertoire about the formats, but I know that short videos works. I don't know about the flashcards, never tried it, but I'm very visual. I need to visualize things, so I think that it can work for me. But I also need to write to take notes so I can remember. So I don't know. Maybe I have doubts about it, but podcasts they works like great for me, like to doing the dishes, especially podcasts in English when I want to learn a new subject or a specific topic. Then I choose to listen to in English. I think it's great. I know that we have a question about gamification, so maybe mini games, right? Mini games inside courses, so you can learn through this fun way.
Thank you so much, Luis. And yeah, I am happy to know that there are more people who enjoy listening to podcasts. Before passing to Guillermo, I would like to know if you do shadowing as well, like me, when you listen to podcasts. Do you do shadowing, like repeating the things that the guy or the woman who is
Sometimes,
talking? Uh, I
sometimes some
really love doing
expressions.
shadowing.
Yes, expressions.
Uh-huh.
I try not to shadow like the accent, but the expressions, and it works like great for me to do this.
Uh-huh. How about you, Catherine? Do you do shadowing?
Oh, actually, it's very rare I doing that because normally I listen to podcasts not to learning English. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
the subject's not about learning English. It's
Mm-hmm.
about other thing, about histories and other things,
Mm-hmm.
and I just enjoy.
Okay, got it.
Try to understand the content and enjoy. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you so much. Guilherme, what do you think about the question number four?
Um, uh, Short videos, of course, I think it's one of the best ways because for me, like Luis, I'm a visual person and I like to write down on the paper some notes. Sometimes I don't come back to see the notes, but where the act of writing for me helps memorizing. The flashcard I'm trying to, the app that Catherine says, Anki, I download some decks they call with the questions to use it, but I'm lazy and I use it very hardly use the Anki. I don't found a good way. And the podcasts I'm trying to listen more to found the if I can use them. I use it to listen podcasts and audiobooks, like cleaning the dishes, washing the bathroom, and for me, this is the use that I can memorize it better because it's a robotic uh, thing that I am doing. I don't have to think a lot to cleaning the things, so I can pay attention on the podcast. But my wife is has all day listen podcasts, and I don't know how she can do it because for me sometimes I put it and my mind goes away. I it's like music when you put in. in the background, and I thinking here. So I'm trying the shadowing that you talk about. I heard about, but I never try. I will try. I will give it a chance because when preparing for some interviews, it's like thinking about in English, we can think perfectly, right? But when we have to say out loud, uh, I confuse the things. Uh, I catch some wrong things, and the anxious and the nervous uh, don't help too. So I think the you saying about talking together can be a good way to help.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, Guillermo, and I'm glad to know that there are more people that do the same like that I do. After this immersion, I have to clean my house. The clean of the house is on me because I work remotely, and my wife she works in the school, so I'm here, so I have to do that. And while I am doing that, I put an French podcast, and I start repeating the things a lot. I'm not sure what my neighbors think about me. They maybe think that I'm like crazy because sometimes I'm listening to English, I'm listening to French, and when my wife comes to my home, we start speaking in Spanish. So maybe they think that I kind of kind of crazy guy. Yeah. Thank you so much, Guy. It's been so good to know more about your opinion. So let's move on to the next question. Maybe we can, yeah, let's follow the to the next one. So I'm going to start with you, Luis, okay? How can microlearning be integrated into daily routine for continuous learning? It's a it's an interesting question. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe into little bits that we are talking about. Sometimes I just enter like a talking immersion here on YouTube, then I listen to what you guys are talking about. It's something that works for me. And I remember about Duolingo. Maybe Duolingo is a way to micro learn something because you just spend like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes before bed and you learn something new. I don't know. I and Duolingo we have like our problems in the past because I used to think that it doesn't work for me, but it can be very fun. It can be because you have a reward, then you check a box, then you complete the day, and it's very fun. Maybe it could be integrated and to read like a tiny number of pages per day. Maybe if you have like a full book that you need to complete, you can read like 10 to 20 pages per day. Maybe it could be a way to.
Thank you so much, Luis, for bringing up your insight, your opinion. Now, Catherine, what do you think about it?
Yeah, what is the question? Is number four? It's five,
Is
sorry.
the fifth one, the number five?
Five. Okay, yeah. Microlearning, like we discussed before, is learning that you avoid to spend a lot of time. So in our daily routines is very good, at least for my routine. I don't have more apology, to give to myself because I say to myself, okay, it's just 10 minutes. What you can do with 10 minutes? You spend just in your cell phone. So let's go. So I think this is working this way for me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Catherine. Guillermo, go ahead. What do you think about the question number five?
Uh, I agree what the girl said about Duolingo. It's like they use the Enki way of micro learning, and the thing that we we can find the apologize to not do it because I'm a very lazy and disorganized person. So I think that if you can organize a little your routine and catch the subjects to that you need to, it's a way to let me think. When you I have a problem in the work, or I passed the last hour or 2 hours working without pause. We can pause to grab a coffee, go to the bathroom, or get water. But we can use this pause to, like Luis said, I have a book to learn to read. I can catch and see 5 pages, and I think it's much more effective than oh, I need to read this book and I will catch the next hour to read. Maybe you wanna need to read again more than if you read just some little pages. And so I think is that.
Thanks so much, Guillermo. And regarding Duolingo, I stopped using it because I started feeling that it was not working well for me, so I stopped using it. I remember that when I started learning French, yeah, I started especially with Duolingo, but after that I decided to move to another method. But I know about people who learn a lot of English with Duolingo. It's something that I wanted to comment. So let's move on to the question. I'm gonna skip the some question here. So let's go to the question number 8. I'm gonna start with you, Catherine. Okay. So what are the challenges of implementing microlearning in corporate training or education? What do you think about this question?
The challenges. Hmm. Well, I just can see like a challenge if you have to pass a complex information and you have to put this in the video, because in the video or other kind of micro learning, because some information, like I said before, need more time to teach. So yeah, I think it's just that, because I can see a bad side about microlearning in corporations. So yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It depends on the complexity the information is, or as well of the subject. I'm not sure if I could find maybe videos on YouTube about some different kind of science over there. A guy teaching about neurons or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think it's something really complex, and maybe it will be a barrier of micro learning. I think for that kind of subject, you really need to try to find the old-fashioned, I'm gonna say, way of learning. As Guillermo said, there are some topics that are so difficult or so complex that you really have to use the old methods. I'm not sure the different methods will work. Guillermo, what do you think about the question number 8?
I agree, and that depends on what you are trying to teach. I remember a company that I work. They provide a week uh, to other company teach the Power BI, and they pay. Uh, 8 years ago, they pay 2,000 per person who to go to the training. Uh, at least half didn't go every day. I was from a different sector, and I want to do the course, but I don't have the time. I didn't have the time, but the person that needed to, they didn't, because it's a course that took us all day. So boring, right? And it's your work. You have other things to do. So I think that if it is a complex subject, maybe you can extend more, like I don't know, maybe a month to try to teach, like we used to do in language. If you catch the Talk and Talk had the immersion, but it's the first platform in that way. But you see the normal methods are one, two classes per week. You have your homework to do, and it's not too long. You don't catch a school. English school that took 2 hours to for class. It's 15 minutes, and that's all. And I think the company can put it in this way. I understand the need to be faster, but you can think about the long term memory and the people really getting the idea of the course.
Thank you so much, Guillermo. And let's move on to Luis. What do you think about it, about the challenges of implementing microlearning?
I agree that when the subject is more complex, you need to adapt because, especially in corporate environment, we have like lots of people that prefer academic and literature. So it can be like seen as something that it's, I don't know, that it's not fair to the subject, but it can be with like more simple things. For example, something that is mandatory that everyone in the company or education, I don't know, need to learn something related to cybersecurity, for example, that it's not that simple. It's mandatory for everyone, but it can be explained in a short video or a mini game or something. And if it is like a long text or PDF, people won't read. So maybe could adapt to something like this. But I know that people who tend to prefer more academic courses with big lectures, long hours, prefer this way. So they are very methodic. I don't know if this word exists, but it's something that I see in my work, for example.
I was thinking about it, and I found so interesting what you mentioned it, that many people prefer to learn the academic way. I think that is because maybe they underestimate the new methods and they think that they are not really learning something seriously. And if you don't do that in the old way, they think they are doing that. Maybe they are not learning. I think that is the why. I'm not sure if you agree with me.
Yes, totally. That's the point. I think it's something to tradition, maybe.
Hmm. Yeah, something that we are used to do it in the same way all of the time. Thanks so much, guys. So I think that we already answered it. We all answered the question number eight. So I'm not sure if we have more time for answering more questions because it's already 2:56. So we are gonna take advantage of this short time that we already have for sharing our opinion and a short feedback about our today's immersion, about this conversation that we just had. It's so useful for us, for the platform in general, as well for me as a facilitator to know your experience. So I'm going to start with you, Catherine. What do you think? How was your experience with us today? If you, how do you find the subject? How was it for you? Go ahead.
Yeah, the subject is very good. Especially the video in the beginning. I think the video is very very teachable, I think, I don't know. And yeah, Luis and Guilherme was amazing to share this time with me, so thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. And I found that video so interesting as well because it seems it's a good example of microlearning as the same video said. Thank you so much. Luis, what do you, how was your experience today with us in this immersion? How do you find this topic of today's immersion?
It works like great for me to understand more about microlearning because I struggle with lack of focus my whole time, my whole life. So this is something that I can try in the future. Maybe I'm currently trying, right? Taking LinkedIn learning classes because work this way. And I love your subject, Christian. I hope to be able to participate in your immersions in the future because 2 p.m. on a Friday it's a little difficult for me. But thanks a
Yeah, I
lot.
know. Yeah, I know that it's a kind of difficult time for a schedule, but it's the only time that I have for leading my English immersion.
I see.
Thank you so much, Luis. I hope to see you in my next immersion as well. And the last but not the least, Guillermo, go ahead. How was it for you?
And so it was very great. The subject for me is very interesting, and I learned new ways with all of you to try the micro learning, to try uh, to to experiment new ways of learning something. And so thank you all of you. It was very great, and I hope to see to be on your immersion other time and try. And this time, some days are okay, but some days are this time it was terrible. But I will try.
Yeah, the good side about TNT is that you can schedule. There are a lot of times or periods or scheduled times where you can join us. So that was for today, guys. The next Friday we will be talking about how to build good habits for better lives. I found this topic as well so
Mhm.
interesting to know more about you. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed your time with us here, and I hope you learn a little bit more about English. And hope to see you in my next immersion. And I will wish you a wonderful weekend. That's it. See you later. Bye bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
See
Bye,
you.
guys.